Julian Assange is yet to be seen today after arriving in Canberra last night, ending his 14-year legal saga. While some are celebrating the news, others have slammed the Prime Minister for giving Assange a hero's welcome. Chloe Boris joins us now from Parliament House. Chloe, he's a free man, but for some, still a polarising one.
Yes, and that's always been the case today. Some view him as a hero, others as a felon, and that has sparked a fresh political fight. Julian Assange landed here in Canberra last night a free man after pleading guilty to one charge of espionage in a US court in the Pacific. He was greeted on the tarmac with a huge embrace from his wife, with supporters cheering on. Before he even got off the plane, his first phone call was actually to the Prime Minister. He thanked him for saving his life. Anthony Albanese has been personally involved in lobbying for his release for many years, and there is a broad political consensus here today that it's a good thing that this 14-year saga is over, but the opposition has criticised the PM for offering him a hero's welcome.
But it's not necessary nor appropriate for Anthony Albanese to welcome home Julian Assange on the same day he's admitted to espionage acts.
About 14 years of punishment in one way or another is surely enough, regardless of what you think of the man.
Julian Assange hasn't been seen since last night. His wife and legal team are here in Parliament House. They're absolutely elated. They say he will need time to recover. His wife and legal team will be in the chamber for question time. No word yet on whether Julian will be joining them.
Thanks for that, Chloe. Behind all the legal work and global advocacy to free Julian Assange were two women who join us now, Julian's wife Stella and his co-counsel Jennifer Robinson. So great to see you both. Now, Stella, talk us through that incredibly emotional moment Julian lifted you off your feet last night.
Well, I had been waiting with John, Julian's father, for Julian's arrival, and we had been monitoring the flight on flight radar, so we knew he was coming. And then when they opened the doors and I saw him, he lifted me off my feet, which is what he does. He did it in the prison when I would go and visit him, and gave me the warmest, most loving hug and a kiss, as I think all the
world saw.
Yeah.
I think we all felt it as well, Jen. You were there for Julian's last steps of freedom, and you were there for his first. What was it like for you witnessing the joy last night? You held your heart.
Oh, look, Nerelda, it was just so emotional and moving to see them reunited. And Julian is a free man, you know, 14 long years of legal battles to get to that point, and to be able to walk off the plane and see them embrace that in that way, for me was a career highlight, and I can't tell you how satisfying it is and how happy I am for Julian, for Stella, for the kids, for their whole family. It's remarkable.
Well, Stella, as you rightly pointed out, the last time you held Julian was when he was behind bars. In fact, you met when Julian was holed up in the Ecuadorian embassy, and until now you and your two sons have never spent time with him as a free man. What are you looking forward to?
We're looking forward to the little things, being able to enjoy a nice meal together, being able to spend time together, go for walks, going to see the ocean. Julian said that he wanted to swim in the ocean every day when he was back, and I want that to become a reality.
Jen, the PM phoned as soon as you landed. He phoned your phone, in fact. Julian credited him for saving his life. Now, that's a big call. How genuine do you believe that to be?
Julian meant it, 100% he meant it. The medical evidence was clear. If he was extradited to the United States, the prison conditions would cause his death. So, you know, it was a really moving call with the Prime Minister, actually. As soon as we landed, he called me on my phone so that he could speak to us, to welcome Julian home, and it was the first thing Julian said to him, and I think the Prime Minister was moved. I was incredibly moved, and it just goes to show the difference that the Australian Government and our Prime Minister has made in this case. I have to thank him for his interventions and raising this at the highest level, and our Ambassador in the US in particular, our Foreign Minister, our Attorney General. Without their help and support, we would not have got there. The negotiations were incredibly complex and difficult between us and the DOJ lawyers, but those negotiations would not have happened had the Australian government, and were not happening in fact, and didn't happen until the Australian government made their position very clear. And so we're very grateful to them and grateful to the Prime Minister. And it was a really important, moving moment.
Stella, if I can take you back several days, how does one of the highest profile prisoners in the world leave Belmarsh and jump on a plane to Saipan without anyone knowing?
Well, yes, it was kept very, very tight, and we didn't know that it was real until just really until 24 hours before. It was becoming clearer and clearer over I think the week or so before it happened that it was probably going to materialize. He was taken from Belmarsh around 2 a.m. on Monday, and local time, and then he was in a prison van for about 4 hours. Then he was in London airport for about 8 hours, but during those 8 hours, he was able to see Jennifer Robinson, Barry Pollack, his U.S. Criminal Defense Counsel, Stephen Smith, the High Commissioner to the UK, also went there, and so this was the team that went onto the plane from there and spent the next 72 hours escorting him and ensuring that he was safe and that everything went as it should.
Jen, that was a huge secret to keep, the world's biggest secret to keep during that time. Over the last 14 years, with all the twists and turns, when was it in court yesterday that you knew for sure you were home and hosed?
Well, it was a tense hearing, waiting to see the judge assess the evidence and the sentencing in particular. But for me, there was a moment, I was sitting next to Kevin Rudd, our ambassador in court, when she finally said, after all this, after court today, you'll be a free man. And I gave Kevin Rudd a squeeze on the arm and just said, thank you, we got there. It was incredibly emotional for me too, to finally hear those words for him. And in fact, the judge wished him an early happy birthday, because it's his birthday next week, and it's the first birthday he'll spend in freedom in 14 years. And for me, it was such a moment to be able to walk out of court with him and get onto that plane with all the Australian officials with us. It was a really beautiful, remarkable moment.
That photo that you shared of Stephen Smith pointing out Townsville as you were flying overhead, where Julian was born, made for some lovely moments on that jet. This has been such a big part of both of your lives. Where to from here?
Well, from here, we enjoy and savour a new chapter in our lives in freedom, and we still have to have those conversations and plan our future from now, but it's filled with possibility, and we're just so happy to be here right now. We're just living the moment.
Jen, for you, where do you go from here?
I'd like to get some sleep. It's been a really intense negotiation process for us, particularly this last month, negotiating with the US to get to this outcome, working with the Australian government to get all the logistics in place. And as I said, it was a very tight circle of us who knew. Even some of our own legal team didn't know this was happening until it happened. And so for me, I'd like to get a break as well, frankly, and to enjoy it, to enjoy the fact that Julian's finally free. And this is something we've worked towards for 14 long years. So for us, I just hope that Julian and Stella and the kids will be given their privacy so that they can enjoy the moment, and hopefully we'll all catch up soon to debrief and enjoy the moment.
Well, thank you for joining me now. Thanks, Stella Assange and Jennifer Robinson. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Narelda.